computer on? Caller 1.
No, not me.
Okay. Yeah, it's not showing you talking now.
Shannon.
Hi, Shannon.
Dan, is that you? Are you on twice?
Yeah, I'm on Carol's computer.
Okay, you're not on that other one.
No.
Okay.
Hi, Weber.
Hey, how's it going?
Not too bad.
Give me 1 minute. Sorry. I'm gonna put this closer so they can hear
Right in your
you guys
face.
speak. Okay. There we go. Okay, I can turn it. How's that? Okay.
Are we ready?
Yep.
Okay, let's open this meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice. All right, number 2, open public forum. Anybody that's not on the agenda that is wishing to speak. Otherwise, we're going to move on to number 3, approval of the amended agenda. I need a motion on that.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Jamie makes a motion. How about a second?
I'll second it.
Doug seconds it. Any discussion? Otherwise, all those, we got to do roll call. Shannon,
Yes.
Jamie,
Yes.
Gary,
Yes.
Doug,
Yes.
and I'm a yes. Motion carries. Number 4, consent agenda. Recommendation to approve the consent agenda as presented. I need a motion.
I'll make a motion.
I'll make a motion. This is Gary.
Gary makes a motion. Shannon seconds it. Any discussion on it? Otherwise, Shannon,
Yes.
Jamie,
Yes.
Gary,
Yes.
Doug,
Yes.
and I'm a yes. Motion carries. Number 5, grant agreement, construction grant for Cold Spring Water Infrastructure Project.
So this is the grant agreement that's finally completed for the $951,000 to assist with the water lines with the wells, the water lines, and all the equipment to make it work to the brewery. It took a while to get it done. We had to wait for some of those easements. Then they're working remote, and I'm not working remote, but it's ready to go and ready for approval. So as soon as it's signed and they signed off on it, we can start submitting back to November 1st for expenses for the 50% of the cost that we've incurred so far, up to that $951,000.
Okay, I'll read a recommendation. Recommendation to approve entering into the grant agreement for the construction of water infrastructure for lines to provide raw water access to Cold Spring Brewing Company, and furthermore, to authorize the mayor and city administrator to execute on behalf of the city when received from the Minnesota Department of Employment and Economic Development. I need a motion on that.
This is Jamie. I'll make a motion.
Jamie makes a motion. How about a second?
This is Gary. I'll second.
Gary seconds it. Any discussion on this? Otherwise, Shannon,
Yes.
Jamie,
Yes.
Gary,
Yes.
Doug,
Yes.
and I'm a yes. Motion carries. Number 6, Resolution 2020-29, a resolution rescinding the declaration of local emergency. Do you want to talk about it, or should I just?
I can, for the record, I can read what I wrote in my memo so people understand what.
Yeah, do that.
Okay. So this resolution would lift the local emergency, which would originally, in that first declaration, we closed City Hall to the public and couldn't reopen without rescinding that declaration. This is really a revised declaration because there's still a pandemic. And so this would open up City Hall, but in it I did ask for the ability to keep the fire hallway off limits to the public. So that south door would be locked. There'd be a no public access right at the doors, so people could only come into City Hall to keep the fire department safe, depending on what happens if there's a new surge or a new uptick in the fall. I want to keep the department as safe as we can from anyone coming in and out of there and running into a public person who's sick. So it'd be easier to keep that hallway closed. It's not 6 feet wide. It's difficult for social distancing. So there's that. And then because a pandemic has been declared, city council meetings can still be remote. So we can continue doing this if someone feels a need to do it this way, or we can come back to completely in person, and if there's a flare-up because it's a pandemic, we can go back to this. So we don't need the declaration of the emergency to hold remote meetings when there's a declared pandemic. So that's what this resolution does. It would take off that declaration, allow us to open up the building, and then deal with meetings completely separate.
You guys comfortable with opening the building?
We are. It's not in here because I don't have an answer yet from the library. One thing we do want to do is open the building, but close it that last hour so that we can do the knobs, the doors, the bathrooms. We do have our cleaning service coming 3 days a week to do a full city cleaning, but this would be just those high contact. We would clean every day, so I'd like to keep it open 7:30 to 3:30, and then admin staff would, the four or five of us would clean it, rotate. I am waiting to see what the library's plan is, because if they want to be open, we can't do that cleaning because they would have to. So, or use their back door. So I'm waiting to hear what they have to say. So right now, I'd like to open it up starting Monday with that 3:30 time for cleaning, and then work with the library as they figure out what they're going to do.
Okay, I'll read the recommendation. Recommendation to approve Resolution 2020-29, a resolution rescinding the declaration of a local emergency. I need a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Jamie makes a motion. How about a second?
I'll second it.
Doug seconds it. Any discussion on this? Otherwise, Shannon,
Yes.
Jamie,
Yes.
Gary,
Yes.
Doug,
Yes.
and I'm a yes. Motion carries.
Could I ask for a motion to approve closing the building at 3:30 each day for pandemic cleaning?
I'll make a motion to approve that time change for City Hall hours.
Jamie makes a motion to change City Hall hours to 3:30. Can I get a second?
I'll second that.
Shannon seconds it. Any discussion on that? Otherwise, Shannon,
Yes.
Jamie,
Yes.
Gary,
Yes.
Doug,
Yes.
and I'm a yes. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Number 7, Resolution 2020-30, a resolution authorizing interfund loan for advance of certain costs in connection with Tax Increment Financing District Number 6-1.
So as part of the TIF that we just did, in the 75% capture that they're taking, 2% of that is for administrative work for the city, and that includes setting up the district. We can pay ourselves back for that. They did give us an escrow of $10,000, but there'll be annual reporting and there'll be some other activities, and we can pay for that, but we need an interfund loan from an existing account, because that will only be reimbursed to us annually when we get the TIF reimbursements that we then pay out to the developer. And the note is going to be done, I think the note was actually done at the last meeting. because they wanted it early. We usually don't do the note till the project's over. And so Jess sent this so we didn't forget to do it. We would normally do it about a year from now. But, so we need to have that there. So we have about $85,000 for 8 years. I don't think we will necessarily use all that. And what happens to it is we don't get to just keep it. Any excess administrative dollars go back to the county and then they distribute it. So if we spend $48,000 over the course of it, the remaining, what is that, $32,000 will go back, and then they'll split it up between the state, the school district, the county, and us. So we get our 26%, not
All right.
100% of that.
Okay, I'll read a recommendation. Recommendation to approve Resolution 2020-30, authorizing interfund loan for advance of certain costs in connection with TIF District Number 6-1. I need a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Jamie makes a motion. How about a second?
This is Gary, I'll second.
Gary seconds it. Any discussion on it?
Just for clarification, TIF District 6-1 is?
The brewery is Skinnell, the most recent one.
Correct. Thanks.
Any other discussion? Otherwise, Shannon,
Yes.
Jamie,
Yes.
Gary,
Yes.
Doug,
Yes.
and I'm a yes. Motion carries. Number 8, Public Works Director Report. John Stevie. Hi, John.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor. How are you doing? First thing I got on my request tonight is the membrane disc diffusers for the aeration basins at wastewater. What these are is little white discs, hundreds of them that line the bottom of the basin that allow feed the bugs oxygen to keep them alive to eat the solids out of the wastewater. We got a couple bids. The cheapest one was Xylem Water Solutions for a price of $8,486.80. So, Mr. Mayor, if you'd like to read that recommendation.
I will do that. Recommendation to approve the purchase of membrane disc diffusers from Xylem Water Solutions at a cost of $8,486.80, and furthermore to be paid out of wastewater department budget equipment parts and materials line item 6314. I need a motion on that.
I'll make a motion to
This is
approve.
Doug.
Jamie makes a motion.
I'll second it.
Doug seconds it. Any discussion on it? Otherwise, Shannon,
Yes.
Jamie,
Yes.
Gary,
Yes.
Doug,
Yes.
and I'm a yes. Motion carries.
All right, the next thing I have, we're just doing a little house cleaning at the shop. A couple old snow hauling trucks that we replaced last year. The Ford L9000 Tandem, as well as the 78 International cabin chassis. When Ron was here, he took some of the good, the good parts off that cabin chassis that we use still. Otherwise, like the Ford L9000 works good, runs good, whatever. It's just getting old and beat up. And then that 86 GMC pickup is just a retiring streets truck, parts truck. So looking for approval to advertise those for sale or slash auction.
All right. Okay, recommendation to approve resolution 2020-30, that's
31.
31? Okay,
Oh, wait,
it says 30
It's
on here, but it was
31.
30, the last one was 30.
yeah. Oh, that's right, I added a new one. All right, so this should be 32.
32?
30, which one are we doing? We're doing,
The resolution declaring excess.
yeah, he's just
property.
31. And then the police one should be 32, the next.
Okay. To approve resolution number 2020-31, a resolution declaring excess property and authorizing disposal of the 1992 Ford L9000 tandem dump plow truck, a 78 International cabin chassis, and an 86 GMC pickup. I need a motion on that.
I'll make a motion.
Shannon makes a motion. How about a second?
I'll second.
Jamie seconds it. Any discussion on it? Otherwise, Shannon,
Yes.
Jamie,
Yes.
Gary,
Yes.
Doug,
Yes.
and I'm a yes. Motion carries. Anything else?
The
Yes.
only other thing I have is I just want to give a shout out to the flower watering committee. Vicky Falls and her team have been doing a good job. It's been working out well. I think they're enjoying the piece of equipment we built for them. It seems like it works pretty efficiently. But the flowers look good, and we've had a lot of compliments around town about them, so.
Yeah, the flowers look really nice. All right. Anybody got questions for John?
None for me.
None.
Otherwise, we'll move on to number 9, City Engineer Report. Brian Lynchen.
Mr. Mayor and Council, just some updates tonight. County Road 158, First Street South. We're continuing with the utility work. We have sewer and water done pretty much past the ballpark. Sewer water storm. So they're already starting today. You might have seen they're putting gravel from 5th to 6th. We're working on the block right by City Hall from Red River to 5th. So hopefully within a week or two we start seeing possibly some curb on site. So we're starting with that road building on the east end and continuing utilities to the west.
All right.
So, any questions or concerns with the project?
No.
None
Nothing.
here.
It's moving fast. I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're moving along. So, water treatment plant, still meeting with Public Works, just kind of going through final design stuff. The wells 8 and 9, we're pretty much done with the well drilling. They've been pumped. We had good results on those, 1,000 gallons a minute out of each well, which is really the best we were hoping for. So we're pretty excited about that. The water main is in. Next, we're just finishing up the design on the pumps, the controls, the power, the roadway, everything else to complete the wells. So finishing that work up right now. On the sanitary sewer, water system, lift station improvements, right now we're working through a lot of the layout of the piping of the force main. Also investigating a couple different options for getting that piping to the wastewater plant. And then the industrial pretreatment, really we had a kickoff meeting on that. We're getting going on design. We got a bunch of folks coming out to Public Works to take a look at the plant and how that pretreatment will integrate with the existing plant. So
Okay.
that's kind of the update on everything. If there's any other questions.
Anybody got anything?
None for me.
No.
No.
Thank you very much, Brian.
Thank you.
Thanks, Brian.
And we'll go on to number 10, Police Department Report. Chief Bloom.
Mr. Mayor, Council, good evening.
Resolution 32.
Couple things for me. Looking to get approval for the sale of a couple of pieces of equipment. One is the 2015 Chevy Impala. It was one of our squad cars up until our new squad just got equipped and everything, so all the equipment's pulled out of there and ready to be sold through the sealed bid. And then also the second one is the 2011 Can-Am. That was the one that was forfeited through a DWI. We had looked at the option of possibly equipping it to use as a rescue vehicle. We had a shop look at it, and it was more than what we were expecting to get it up to where it would need to be used safely as a rescue vehicle. So we would have had to put too much into it, so decided to just sell that one also.
Can you speak a little closer? You never know.
All right.
Thank you.
First recommendation, to approve resolution 2020-32, a resolution declaring excess property and authorizing disposal of the 2015 Chevy Impala by a sealed bid. I need a motion on that.
This is Gary. I'll make a motion.
Gary makes a motion. How about a second?
I'll second. This is Jamie.
Jamie seconds it. Any discussion on it? Otherwise, Shannon,
Yes.
Jamie,
Yes.
Gary,
Yes.
Doug,
Yes.
and I'm a yes. Motion carries. Okay, the other one, recommendation to authorize the sale of the forfeited 2011 Can-Am Commander by sealed bid. I need a motion on that.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Jamie makes a motion, how about a second?
I'll second it.
Doug seconds it. Any discussion?
What size is that? You know?
1,000 cc, I want to say.
Okay.
Okay. Any other discussion?
None.
Otherwise, Shannon,
Yes.
Jamie,
Yes.
Gary,
Yes.
Doug,
Yes.
and I'm a yes. Motion carries.
Thank you. Only other thing is businesses get to open, or more businesses get to open up tomorrow, so excited to see that and get back to a little bit of normalcy. So just looking forward to that again. But that's all I have unless you guys have questions for me.
Anybody got anything for Jason?
None for me.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks, Chief.
Okay, number 11, City Administrator Report.
I sent in the packet a letter for Rockville. They're very close, but they haven't come to an agreement with Stickney, and it's getting rather late. Stickney hasn't had a permit with either us or them for over a year. And so I'd like to send this letter to remind them that they have a duty to have a permit, and I'm hoping what it will do is, they're in negotiations, they're in mediation, kick that process a little faster. Because the MPCA, we do need to have proof that they have the permit, so that letter you saw, I would like permission to send to Rockville, reminding them of their duty under the contract, and to start negotiating with them if things fall apart with Stickney on what they're going to do.
Okay, I'll read the recommendation. To authorize the city administrator to send notification to Rockville providing notice that Rockville is in violation of its duty under Section 2C5 requiring significant industrial users to enter into a pre-treatment industrial use agreement in compliance with MPCA rules and regulations. I need a motion on that.
I'll make a motion. This is Shannon.
Shannon makes a motion. How about a second?
This is Jamie, I'll second.
Jamie seconds it. Any discussion on this? Otherwise, Shannon,
Yes.
Jamie,
Yes.
Gary,
Yes.
Doug,
Yes.
and I'm a yes. Motion carries.
The next is my review period has come, and with
Again?
I know, every year. With the way meetings have been held, I haven't brought it up, but I'm hoping now that we've rescinded that maybe this is something we could do, not necessarily at a meeting, but maybe hold a special meeting, because then it would be the only thing on, would be closed in this room, because I'm asking for it to be closed, and then we can social distance so that you all could be there without concern of other people being in here before it during a meeting. And so, if that's okay, I don't know what your thoughts are about going back to 100% in person. Do you want to keep this as an option? I suppose we could have talked about that before, but it kind of piggybacks, so I'll follow your instructions and your lead, but those are the two issues that kind of relate to this item that needs to happen. I mean, you don't have to give me a review if you don't want to, but I think, you probably should.
If it's due, then we should.
Yeah.
I think we should have a special meeting. I don't know what you guys think, but we can have a special meeting, and it won't take long. Just pick a night and come down, and because I think it should be in person. I don't think it should be this way.
Like Doug and Gary, are you comfortable doing
Yeah, I
it in
think a
person?
special meeting would be fine with me.
Okay.
Yep, I'm okay with it.
Okay.
And then what I'm assuming we still want to do all the regular meetings, still continue with this option for the foreseeable future.
I would say keep it
Yeah.
as an option.
Okay.
I have no problem doing a regular meeting the way we're doing it right now, but I think this year is something
Right.
a little bit different. But
This is more personal. This is
Yes.
Yeah.
something that,
yes.
yeah, and if it's just going to be, the 5 of us or whatever, then it's, yeah.
Yeah, so I'll continue to I'll create a go-to meeting for the regular city council meetings. so people can join. Because I'm sure some of the public would like to still attend, but not necessarily attend in person. For some of them, especially when we have public hearings that may come in the next month or two. Okay.
You guys okay with that?
So do we want to set a,
Yeah, what date? I'm good with a date, or do you want me to send out an email proposing a couple dates and times to see what everybody's available in June?
You guys
Next
want to do
week?
that?
sure.
Just send a few dates and then we can agree on something?
That works for me.
Okay,
Yes, that sounds good.
all right.
Okay.
We'll
all
do
right.
that.
And then I'll post it as normal, as a
Yeah.
special meeting. All right. Doug and Gary, I think you can jump in on this for timeline information for the park, but the park's getting close, and the question is about a grand opening. Currently, it's $250 at events. I do think there's a potential optics issue that if we have a grand opening, but Firefest canceled, Stay at the Park's canceled, the Hometown Pride's canceled, there's a fine line with it. It depends, if the park like that, you're going to have a lot of close in-person activities like face painting. You're going to want to have kids participating in stuff, and I'm a little concerned about having a grand opening. I don't know how the rest of the committee felt. I don't know if you have weighed in.
What's the completion date?
They're thinking, is it late July, early August, right?
Yeah, it would definitely be early August at the earliest, I believe, Gary, right? Because they were talking maybe the first part of July seeding, right?
That's correct, Doug, yes.
And John,
So I think I'm sorry, go ahead.
I know that we want the seeding in the grass to take place so we don't rip it all up. John, if they seed in early July, how long will it take?
A few weeks.
Okay.
So you're talking,
Say that, 2 to 3 weeks for sure.
Okay.
possibly middle of August yet.
Yeah, we'll have to evaluate it.
Yeah,
I would say since they haven't passed it to the city yet,
Right.
let them make the decision when they're comfortable to turn it over to us, and then I think a soft opening is fine, even if it's for the last 3 weeks of the summer.
Yeah. Yep. They do have to turn it over to us, like you said, because of the fact that we need to accept it. And so we could have a simple ribbon cutting, have that resolution on, a declaration resolution that we can then thank them and have people there socially distancing. The splash pad in the playground can be opened whenever it's ready
Yeah.
and for use. It's just a matter of whether a grand opening right now, it seems like next spring when we have a full year ready, that'd be a great time. That gives them time to plan
I agree.
bands, any
Yeah.
type of stuff they want to have in the band shell and use the whole space and not just the playground and the splash pad in the pavilion. So I was asked to bring it to you on your thoughts.
Well, I agree with the soft opening, and
yeah.
Could you,
I agree with going with more of the soft opening after it's been handed over to us, and then looking at next year probably doing more of a grand opening or more of a grand type of
yeah.
event.
Yeah.
So
So, John,
Go ahead.
so what you're saying is it should be a minimum of 3, probably 4 weeks after the seed is done before we should really open it up to the splash pad in the playground area, huh?
Yeah, I think we can talk to like Ron Schroden or something just to see what his thoughts are tomorrow.
Okay.
I know in July though, it's even watering the heck out of it. It's not the greatest time to grow grass, but the last thing we want is to spend all that money and make it look nice, and then have the seed get wrecked by people walking on it.
Right. So you say you're talking with Ron tomorrow?
Yeah, we can give Ron a call and just kind of get his thoughts on when he thinks it'll be ready.
Okay, could you get back to me as soon as you find out from him tomorrow? Because I know the whole Alexander Park, our meeting tomorrow, or Thursday night it is. So tomorrow or Thursday sometime would be great. That way I can relay that back to them.
Yeah, I'll actually shoot him a text tonight, or have Pete shoot him a text tonight, and then I might even have you an answer tonight already.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Gary, what's your thoughts?
I agree with what's been said, yes.
Okay. I think so too.
I mean, under the circumstances of everything that's going on, and I mean,
and it's going to get later in the season. I can see opening up the splash pad, and the playground, but to have an actual grand opening, I think would be. It would be a lot nicer to have it next year. I think.
Right.
Get a little bit of planning in it, and have a really nice grand opening then. All right. Is that all you need on that, or you don't need anything?
I don't need a motion. Do you want me to convey that, Gary or Doug, to Tom, or when you have that meeting? I can call Tom
that'd be
tomorrow.
fine.
I'll call Tom tomorrow and let him know what the recommendation of the council is.
Okay. Sounds
Okay.
good.
All right. Then I have a few other things. So obviously splash pads are now opening because pools are opening, but when I wrote this, they weren't, so very difficult to keep up.
Yeah.
And speaking of keeping up, the baseball park, Baseball Association they can do 25 people, so they could have inter-team play. They were asking about the ballpark itself. Our baseball park is a little more, how can I say it, needs more attention every time there's a game versus other city fields that just have bleachers and maybe a small concession stand. I don't believe we necessarily have the staff to do. If we let 250 people sit in the stands that day and there's a game 3 days later, that whole thing has to be wiped down. And I don't know, we have one full-time person, one of our part-time people full-time at the field, not only taking care of it. So I've read the latest governor's executive order, and I don't believe they can have paying customers, and they don't have the concession properly. We don't have the concession properly screened. We don't have the separation, with all the things we can do in the plexiglass and the ways to make it. We don't know if the governor's going to allow games sooner, but they have asked, and I've gotten multiple people from different teams calling me, Springers, Rockies. So I talked with the president of the Baseball Association tonight, and I asked him if I could have him be the voice of all the teams, the association do the one voice asking me these, and we work together on it. And what I'd like is for John and Pete and I to work with them as these orders change to figure out how we can help them start their games. But we haven't really had communications. Tomorrow, the Minnesota Baseball Association is going to put out a COVID prepared plan, which they have to do, every team has to do, and they are going to give guidance on how to start games. The one issue, of course, will be our facility, which is much more time consuming to care for than other local city parks around the league. Some are bigger, but not all. And so I'd just like your approval to have John and Pete and I work with them and not have to wait till your next council meeting to say, let's do this, or approve this or approve that. So I'd like a motion to allow us to work with them to open the ballpark in as safe a manner as we can.
I will make a motion to what you just said.
Jamie makes a motion,
I will second a motion to what you just said.
and Shannon seconds the motion that Bridget said. Is there any discussion on that?
Mr. Mayor, I got one thing for Bridget.
Okay, go ahead.
Bridget, have you run it by them that maybe the baseball teams could help with cleaning those stands?
Well, that's what we need to figure out, and that's basically what I kind of implied with them, that we need to work together on this. So we need to, have a plan on what needs to be done to get the park set up and ready, and then who's going to be responsible for that? So that's the kind of stuff that I'd like to have John and Pete and I work with them on. Allow me to approve their plan that they submit, and we have a policy on who's responsible for what.
All right.
Perfect, thank you.
Yep.
Any other discussion? Otherwise, Shannon.
Doug,
Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna tell you, Doug, that 10 days for the seed to come out of the ground, 4 weeks for it to get established.
So 4 weeks. Okay, and I was surprised with that because I thought that was actually less. I was looking in 6-7 weeks, but 4 weeks. Well, actually 5 weeks, huh? What'd you say? A week for the seed or 4 to come up?
I think 10 days for it to pop out and usually 4 weeks before it's good enough to walk on.
Okay, so we're looking at
At least 5.
we're looking at
At
a
least
month.
5, almost
Okay.
6 weeks
From the time that they do it.
from the time they seed. Okay. Okay, we'll vote on this other motion now. Shannon,
Baseball, yes.
Jamie,
Yes.
Gary,
Yes.
Doug,
Yes.
and I'm a yes. Motion carries.
That is all I have.
All right. Then we will move on to number 12, list of bills and additions. Recommendation to review and accept payment of the accounts payable according to the list and supplemental list presented by city staff. I need a motion on that.
I'll make a motion to approve payment of the bills.
Jamie makes a motion. How about a second?
Shannon seconds.
Shannon seconds it. Any discussion on it? Otherwise, Shannon,
Yes.
Jamie,
Yes.
Gary,
Yes.
Doug,
Yes.
and I'm a yes. Motion carries. General questions and comments from city council. Shannon,
None at this time.
Jamie,
Nothing for me, Mr. Mayor.
Gary,
Nothing?
Doug,
Nothing.
and I have nothing.
Do you want to, sorry, I forgot one thing.
Okay,
The EDA is, or the watering committee is looking for volunteers. I'm going to put it on the Facebook
Oh,
page,
yes.
but if anyone is interested to volunteer with the watering crew, get a hold of Vicky Fall, and I will have her number on the Facebook page, or call City Hall and we can get it.
all right. Nothing else? Then, the next scheduled city council meeting, June 23rd, 2020. I need a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Jamie makes a motion. How about a second?
Shannon seconds that.
Shannon seconds it. Any discussion? Otherwise, Shannon,
Yes.
Jamie,
Yes.
Gary,
Yes.
Doug,
Yes.
and I'm a yes. Motion carries. Thank you guys very much.
Thank you all.
Thank you.